Welcome back to Motivational Moments. I am your host, Mason Metzger. As a keynote speaker, I help individuals and organizations facilitate their self-discoveries and to navigate what I have coined specialized challenges. It's my mission to help you live life to the fullest while living your life on a mission. In today's episode, I am going to describe the importance of living a healthy lifestyle. We're going to look at living a healthy lifestyle from two different vantage points today. First, I'm going to look at it from a person with a disabilities perspective and give you some practical tips to take the positive impact of your leadership to the next level. And then for my audience members that are not disabled, I am going to provide some practical tips on how to deal with the lack of motivation that people often experience when it comes to the subject, um, and just help people in whatever way I can. I hope you enjoy the episode. So first, starting out, the inspiration for today's episode was brought onto my mind through some of my recent life experiences. As a college student, when I was living on campus, I had access to a gym, so therefore I got into a routine of doing physical activity on a regular basis, such as the upper body ergometer, which is a fancy name for a hand cycle, and other pieces of equipment such as weight training tools and dumbbells of various weights, as well as plates. And so those are some of the types of equipment I used. And then when I first got home back in March of 2020, I kept up with the rhythm, but as the pandemic progressed, I began to lose interest in physical activity because I had started going to physical therapy, which was physical and occupational therapy, which was taking up a significant amount of my energy when I first started 18 months ago. And then I realized that through those experiences, I've gained some practical insights that I could use to help you take the positive impact of your leadership to the next level. So starting out, let's discuss the idea of how to overcome the lack of motivation that is often present from both a person with a disability's point of view and a non-disabled person's point of view. So, starting out with the person with a disability's point of view, I would say that in my own life and in the lives of people in my sphere of influence that I talk to on a regular basis, there's a misconception that going to physical therapy and occupational therapy is enough in terms of engaging in physical activity. However, those interventions are just the beginning in terms of gaining function and maintaining it. So it's essential to look for equipment that falls within your ability level and start a routine to help you gain a rhythm. And the main thing that showed that to me in my own life was that as a wheelchair user, I did not move a lot, so therefore I began to realize the importance of physical activity in um, late high school years, which was over 5 years ago now when I first realized the importance of physical activity. So, and then moving on to, um, actually, before I move on to the non disabled person's point of view and how to tackle a lack of motivation, I want to say that regardless of your physical capabilities, there's always something you can do in terms of physical activity. However, it's essential for me to point out that you should always consult a physician or other medical professional in terms of finding the appropriate exercise program for you. The information I'm providing today is only based on my life experience and um, should be treated as such, and I would encourage you to reach out to a medical professional to come up with an individualized plan. So, moving on to the non disabled person trying to tackle a lack of motivation, many of my friends and colleagues enjoy engaging in physical activity. However, they don't like going to the gym because it makes them feel like they stick out. And so, to combat that, I would recommend that individuals find something that they enjoy doing, and then once you find what you enjoy doing, try to find other people that enjoy doing the same thing and create community while you're doing that, which strengthens your likelihood of staying on track with your physical fitness goals and objectives. And that brings me to my next point. So, as I've grown up throughout my various seasons of life, I've began to realize that setting goals is a lot more strenuous than setting objectives. Sometimes when I would find myself setting goals, it's very hard to measure your progress, even if you employ the SMART goal method. I just find that kind of a cumbersome process, so I find it more useful and helpful to me to set objectives and then measure my progress toward that objective. And that allows me to conserve energy and to be able to measure out where I'm going in a more effective way. Now, for some people, thinking of it as goals might be more beneficial, but I'm just saying from my point of view, objectives are more concrete. And when you think about that in the context of work, if you want to motivate a team, it's crucial to outline a key set of objectives and provide your team with the vision in order to achieve those objectives. So if you just frame them as goals without giving someone a roadmap on how to get there, then it's likely that you're not going to achieve the levels of buy-in and the push that you're trying to get them to go toward. So giving them clear objectives with clear instructions is vital to increasing the likelihood of them taking on those objectives and meeting them, and in most cases exceeding them because of the intentionality behind the objectives by thinking about them in the planning phase, and then also thinking about them in the planning phase allows for greater levels of detail, which leads to less likelihood of burnout. And then the other example I want to give you today related to setting goals and objectives is in one of my recent physical therapy treatments. I was able to stand at the parallel bars for 2 minutes. And when I first started physical therapy 18 months ago in this particular round of treatments, I could only stand for about 30 seconds at the parallel bars, and then over time I progressed to a minute, and now I'm up to 2 minutes, which is quite extraordinary. But taking it one step further, I was able to take steps, and when you're taking a step, you're able to measure the length of your gait. And so in the same way, the steps that you take toward meeting your objectives are measurable, and that's what leads to thinking more about not only achieving the objective to achieve the objectives that you've set, but also challenges you to think about your legacy and um and moving to take more steps each time you go to somewhere or each time you perform a task is extremely beneficial, because you're able to create a roadmap for where you want to go in the future, rather than just thinking about the present, but also thinking about the future, which is closely related to the point I mentioned earlier about legacy. And it was just amazing to take steps, and I was actually able to do the full length of the parallel bars 2 times, and then because I can't take steps backward yet, we just back the wheelchair up to the starting point. And so in the same way, you're able to train your brain through repetition as you encounter obstacles and opportunities to grow. And in the same way, I'm able to increase my physical activity by riding my hand cycle or taking steps in physical therapy. And those investments that I'm making and the investments that you make in your physical health are compounding over time, similar to how compound interest works in terms of investing. The more you invest, the greater you will have in the future, and the more time you'll have to consider your legacy and how you can utilize your gifts, talents, and skills to serve others. I hope this episode was helpful, and I challenge you to dig deep and think about how you can work toward your goals and objectives through living a healthy lifestyle on a mission. If you have comments, questions, or suggestions for a future episode, feel free to email me or visit my website. On my website, you can also connect with my social media platforms and view my articles I post on LinkedIn. My website is masonmetzger.com, or you can email me by emailing mason@masonmetzger.com. Remember that you matter and you have the ability to make a difference, and we all have specialized challenges, but there's variation in terms of the ways in which individuals deal with those challenges. But the challenges you face today will make you stronger to face the ones you face tomorrow. Thanks so much for listening and have a great day.